Hello, my name is Sierra Gardner. I am a marriage and family major here at BYU, Idaho. I did my internship at the Family Crisis Center here in Rexburg on Main Street. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the internship, how to get it, and what I would recommend with it. First off, we're going to talk about how to find and arrange the internship. So, step one is just go to the Family Crisis Center website, find the volunteer tab, and go down to internships. This is where you will be able to find the internship page where you click on internship application down here and you email the application to this email right here. Um, the internship application will download and it will look like this, the first page, and then there's more questions underneath. Then you will get an email for the interview and you'll interview and then they'll send you an email offer if you get it. Make sure to check your spam folder because a lot of times the Family Crisis Center emails will be sent to your spam folder because it processes it as an advertisement, not as the internship like it is. Next is the responsibilities. Intern responsibilities consist of four different parts. So the first part is the front desk where you answer and direct phone calls that come in and you direct them to the correct people or answer the questions of the people on the phone. A lot of times you'll learn how to do that and it's pretty easy to answer those questions. Next is the food bank. You will help unload the food from the food truck that comes in from the different stores here in town, and you receive the food, you organize it and throw out the bad produce and things, going through it and marking all the barcodes so it can't get returned, and you fill the boxes for clients and community members that come in for the food bank. The next is thrift store. You are ringing people up as an intern. Interns are authorized to be a cashier down in the thrift store. So you do a little bit of that depending on who is there, and you help organize the clothes, price tag the clothes, um, and things like that. The last thing would be working with the advocates. So you're able to sit in on client meetings and then you talk about the clients and what are the next steps with the advocates. You're able to debrief with them, figure out what they're going to do next, and be able to find out more information. A lot of times you'll come in halfway on the clients, and so they'll update you on what has happened prior to. Lastly, you can attend court when possible. A lot of times it's just a small family court, so they don't allow many people to be there. So it can be few and far between depending on the cases that are happening during your internship. I've heard some pretty cool stories of different interns going to bigger cases and be able to follow through with those the entire time. The biggest thing with this is you have to be proactive because the advocates are so busy that sometimes they can forget to include you because they're so just involved in helping their clients and going to different things that they kind of forget to include you. So make sure that you're proactive in talking to them, and if there's especially a client and a case that really interests you, that you are talking to the advocate often about what they're doing next and how you can be a part of it and things like that. You got to get yourself in your mind. So being proactive and speaking up about it. So, how it benefited the Family Crisis Center for interns to be there. Um, First off, they love interns because they man the desk and take the phone calls so they can actually focus on the clients more. It's actually a huge help to be that front desk person, that receptionist, to receive all those calls. So they don't have to take the time to do that and they can help a lot more clients that way. Also, it brings a new, fresh look to things. Um, you're able to implement new things that make it more efficient there for either interns or the advocates or both. one of the things that we did that it sounds small, but it's actually had a big impact is moving our front desk and moving the waiting area couches. So um, people don't just walk straight by us, and we're able to kind of intercept people because there was a lot of people just walking straight by and just going straight to the advocates, and it's not helpful for them if they are being talked to all the time when they have to get their work done, or they're doing things that aren't able to be uh, interrupted. So that has been a big help. Also, there's more hands to help in the food bank and the thrift store, which is very helpful to those people because they're able to get other things done as well. And then helping the advocates with projects is um, a huge help, obviously. Next, how did it benefit me at the Family Crisis Center? So I learned a lot about being proactive and speaking up and standing up for myself and getting more involved. That was something that I struggled with when I first got there and wasn't sure how I was going to survive there. But as I started kind of talking to the advocates and stuff, I started getting more involved and telling them that I wanted to be involved. I did grow a lot mentally and knowing how to conduct myself in a professional setting, and like I said, being stronger and proactive, just grew a lot like that. And then the personal processing of my PTSD and stuff, having the advocates there to talk and learning about other situations and seeing the strong women and victims that come in that they're able to get through. So I know that I'm able to get through, and it's helped a lot. Um, I've learned a lot about the law world with these cases and what is available to the clients, and um, what the law kind of says and what things you can do, like a restraining order, a protection order, things like that. Just things that will help the clients get where they need to be and get in a safe environment. Last, I learned what to do in these kinds of crisis situations and what can actually help victims, and what kind of resources you can piece together to help people, um, whether it's needing help with bills or needing help with housing, food, things for babies, anything. There is a lot of help out there, and just um, learning that there does take a little piecing the puzzle together of what resources there are is um, was pretty cool to learn about. And as you talk to the advocates of what they're getting for the clients, you're able to learn what kind of resources are out there for you and others. So connections to the classwork. A lot of what I saw in the connections was learning from family stress and coping. Um, that seems a little self-explanatory, but it's a big thing that I didn't really think to have be a part, but it was. Um, Two big things that I saw was grieving and support mapping. So grieving, there is a process to grieving and the steps, and um, I didn't necessarily realize, but um, when victims come in, they kind of are grieving their past life and themselves, and feeling bad and grieving for themselves that they had to go through such difficult times, and now trying to figure out what is out there for them and what they can do with their life now. They have to grieve things, and they have to go through the steps of feeling sad and angry, and that's how you process things. So I made a lot of connection to those and seeing the different levels of grief that some of the victims were going through. Also, the advocates use support mapping a lot. It's where you look at where your support is and that you have multiple avenues of support. So your support isn't coming from just one part of your support map. That's really important. Next, I learned a lot in practicum about the code of ethics, and I think that applies here, knowing what to get involved in and what could cause more problems. So knowing what avenues to take when helping people, and respecting others' right to choose how to raise their family and cultural differences. You can't just continue to tell them what to do and how to raise their children or what situations they should put their family in. So if they still want to share custody with their abuser or anything like that, you have to respect that. Um, Lastly, I saw a connection between church curriculum and family stress and coping about self reliance and being able to take care of yourself and not relying on advocates or therapists or people like that. Um, Self reliance is a lot of what is promoted by the advocates and giving that support, but getting the clients to take care of themselves, whether it's that they need to call the hotel that they're being put up in and get directions from them, or they have to find different things to be able to support themselves as well. So they're not completely relying on the Family Crisis Center or the advocates individually, that they look for strengthen themselves as well. Lastly, would I recommend this internship? I would say yes and no. I would say yes because I did get some pretty good experience with crisis situations and hearing the different victims and things that um, it opened my eyes a lot to the different situations that are out there and that it isn't just limited to women, it is men that are victims as well. Um, it was it was really good to learn uh, with those different experiences. There's room for personal growth and personal processing with professionals to talk to. So you're able to grow as a person and learn and also be able to process your own things. I think that it can be a trigger to start processing circumstances that are similar to the victims. And luckily, there are the professionals there to talk to, and that they're very willing to talk to you about them as long as you are willing to talk to them. Lastly, you can do homework. There's lots of time to do that. So if you are doing classes and the internship, you are able to balance it. It's easily balanced, I would say. No, because you do a lot of receptionist work, and I know a lot of people don't really like that and would prefer more hands on. So, if that's the case, this probably wouldn't be the best internship for you. You do a lot of tasks for other people, so the advocates, the community outreach people, you're doing a lot for them. So, folding pamphlets or cutting shapes for display is actually what I did the other day. You're also printing or copying, things like that. Maybe running a few errands, taking things to the copy shop. It just depends. The advocates do forget to include you, like I talked about before, so that can be really frustrating when you just want to be a part and they just don't talk to you because they're just so consumed in their own work that they can kind of forget because they're just trying to think about what they need to get done. And then lastly, there's a lot of downtime. So, like I said, you can do your homework, but um, sometimes you're just kind of looking around for things to do and um, things like that. They do ask you to do some amount of cleaning, so that can be really hard for some people because it feels a little pointless. Um, Something I didn't write down, but on the yes side, you can get a discount down in the thrift store or get a food box for free. Um, and they'll have it ready for you when you're done with your shift. Just little things like that that they try to make it a little bit more worth it for you. But all in all, I really liked this internship and I really would recommend it to people. I think it's a really good internship and it really opens your eyes to a lot of the things going on in this world and gives you more of a insight into what's going on in our world and how to help people, even if it is just helping your friends and family. Um, thank you so much for watching and good luck in finding